Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. This is Optibotimus coming to you with another video review. And on today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at something very special. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Home Alone Marv, Harry, and Kevin head knockers, exclusively available at the National Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. Now I know, that sounds crazy, but there's an actual Hall of Fame for bobbleheads. Last year, apparently, they had a preview exhibit and it did really well. And I believe the permanent location will be opening in downtown Milwaukee, Wisconsin this winter, and really is set to cover everything in the bobblehead universe. As for these Home Alone bobbleheads, there's a bit of an interesting backstory with these guys. Being a favorite film of the bobblehead CEOs, after a lot of work in dead ends, they eventually were able to get a hold of the people at 20th Century Fox. But they were informed that the rights for these guys would have to be secured separately from the license of Home Alone. And they discovered that NECA actually did acquire those rights. So what the Hall of Fame did was reach out to NECA, and they reached an agreement where they would produce these bobbleheads exclusively for the Hall of Fame. And I really am impressed with how these guys turned out. One thing that I did not expect, now, as you can see by the package, it says collector quality resin at an affordable price. These are heavy duty. I honestly didn't expect them to be as kind of heavy as they actually are, but you can see the box looks really very nice. You got Marv, you got Harry, you got Kevin. You can see that Marv and Harry are limited editions of only 3,000, whereas Kevin has a limited edition run of 5,000. You can see the Home Alone logo. You got the logo for the Hall of Fame right there. On the top here, you can see hand painted, all that stuff. On the back of the box here, you got an image of the actor, and it says, when Kevin's family left on vacation, they forgot one little detail: Kevin. But as it turns out, being left behind has never been so much fun. The 8-year-old uses every hilarious trick in the book to defend his home from a pair of bungling burglars called the Wet Bandits, a name that reflects Marv's habit of leaving the water running in each of the houses they hit. And then you take a look at the back here, and all of them do say the same thing, and you got the different actors on them. And actually, the little read-up is a little bit different. It stops here where it says Wet Bandits on actually Mars. I mean, you can see, it goes on to talk a little bit more about Marv. With Harry here, it stops a pair of bungling burglars led by Harry, a short-tempered wannabe criminal mastermind, which is always hilarious because it's Joe Pesci. And I mean, come on. But really nice packaging on these guys. You can see you got nice images of the product and everything like that. The inside here, I should kind of show this off, is protected, if I can get it, by some nice foam, so that when you get the figures, they are nicely protected. So you do have that. Overall, really very solid packaging. I'm very happy with it. But for the packaging, that's about it. So without further ado, let's get these guys out here and see how cool they actually are. Alright guys, so here we have Marv, Kevin, and Harry opened up and out of their packaging. And again, made out of high quality resin as well as individually hand painted. These do a really good job of capturing the look and personality of the characters. Starting off first with Marv, again, you got the little bobblehead because it's a bobblehead. But great quality. NECA has done an amazing job for years, and it really shows here as well. Taking a look at the bottom, you can see it's got the Home Alone logo with NECA. You got some nice little foam pads that nicely kind of protect the bottom when you put it on the surface. There is a couple paint blemishes on here that I will point out. There is a paint blemish. I don't necessarily think that is supposed to be there. It's a little unfortunate, but when you're going through and you're looking at these, that's something that you can easily spot and not pick up. But great detail on everything else. You got that nice base there with Home Alone. I love the fact that he is barefoot. Really nicely kind of keys in on one of those funny, hilarious scenes. You can see he's holding his crowbar, and then just overall great detail with the sculpt and paint. You can see he's got his nice brown jacket, and then underneath black pants, you got his vest, his couple shirts, all really very nicely sculpted. And again, overall, the paint detail is nice. He does have that little blemish, but it's not ridiculously terrible. And then taking a look at the head, I mean, I love the look that they got in there. You could see the nice iron marks right in there. Absolutely perfect. Great paint variation with his hair. You can totally see it's got that little curly look. You got his little mutton chops coming down and his little goatee. There's a couple spots right here along the side where it looks like it should have been painted, but it wasn't. But again, these are hand painted, so it's human error, I guess. And then just the bobblehead. One thing that I would say is that his head is very heavy. Holding it, his head feels like it's heavier than the other one, so it does tend to, you can kind of see, lean off to the side. It is just a spring underneath there. You could probably, I don't want to overdo it, but you could probably bend that to get it more straight, but you can just see it just has a natural tendency to want to go off to the side. For Harry here, again, same great detail. Taking a look at his paint, I think this is just about a little bit of splotch up on his neck, not too bad. You got that same base down here with the Home Alone logo, Harry right across it, and then you can see again great sculpt and paint work here with his body. He's holding a little flashlight, and you can see nice black jacket, great texture detail as well. You can see a lot of that kind of almost like a leather sort of, I guess, texture with it. You also got real nice detail on the underside here with this shirt and such. And like I said, the shirt here, you can kind of see like on his neck, it kind of went up on the paint. It's not terrible, but it is worth noting. Great likeness with the face, great variation with the paint. I really do like, you can totally see like some pink throughout there. Really quite impressive. Even with the teeth, I mean, you got some nice, like, dirt kind of things in there. I mean, it looks really good. The one thing that I would say that I probably would have liked a little bit more is this being burnt off. That was one of the very funny scenes in the film where the torch kind of, like, burnt off the top and his head was on fire. That would be kind of cool if they had that burnt off on it. That would be my one sort of thing that I would think could have improved the overall look for this, but it's still really very, very sharp. And then you take a look at Kevin, and again, you got that same gorgeous base with Kevin, Home Alone. The bottom here has the Home Alone and NECA logo, but great detail with this as well. Again, paint variation is wonderful. You can see some darker colors here in his sweater. You got the orange. Kevin here, looking at the paint, probably I don't see any problems with this. This looks just about perfect. You can see his rifle there in the back. It's nicely sculpted in. He's got his hair dryer, or was that a nail gun? I don't remember exactly what that was. But you got some things here in his pocket. You got the nice detail and dirt in his pants. Different variation with the colors of his shoes. And then you can see like the little cuff down here is a slightly different color. You got the little camo strap right there. Again, great detail in Macaulay Culkin's face. He is a bobblehead, but because it's smaller, you can see that these guys have a tendency to bobble a lot more than Kevin does, just because his head is smaller. But it's still oh, that was really creepy. I just looked at my camera when I did that, and that's bad. But great paint variation in his hair. You got the blonde and the darker bits. Again, really nice pink variation thrown in his face. Gorgeous blue paint for his eyes. All of their eyes are really very nice. Just overall, I mean, very, very cool. Now, like I said, these are made out of resin, so they are heavier, and I wanted to do this to kind of give you a sense of how heavy these guys are. So let's take a look at Harry first. I'm going to bring in my scale. Turn that guy on. Let me see. Turn that guy on. Okay, and then I'm going to put him on there and zoom in. Maybe I'll zoom in. I don't know if I'll be able to because my camera. You have to detach my camera. You can see that Harry here weighs 1 pound 2.7 ounces, so 1 pound 3 ounces. That's fairly heavy for this guy. I mean, really very impressive. Kevin here, he's going to be the lightest of them. He comes in at about 12 ounces or so, 11.8 ounces, so definitely the smallest. I want to say that Marv is going to be the heaviest. He just feels like he's the heaviest. And 1 pound, a little over 1 pound, 1 pound and 0.1 ounces. So 1 pound, was that 1 pound? Maybe Harry's the heaviest. Yeah, Harry's actually the heaviest. I thought that Marv, well, that makes sense because his body is a whole lot more bulky. So that makes sense, but definitely heavy in high quality pieces. Good size as well, bringing these guys back in here and bringing in the old tape measure. Let's see, Harry here comes in at a little below 8 inches in height, just a hair below 8 inches. Kevin is going to be a little bit above. He's about 7.5 inches or so. And Marv here, if I keep his head straight, Marv is going to be the tallest. He comes in at about 8.5 inches. Is that right? 8.5 inches? Yeah, about 8.5 inches, as you can see right there. So nice, heavy quality, large scale figures, very fun. And for me, Home Alone is one of my favorite Christmas movies. Not so much the second or the third one, or however many other ones that they did. Because after a while, I'm like, really, how many times are you going to forget a kid at home? But these are classics to me. A modern day classic Christmas movie. And these are terrific pieces to have. Now, as I said, they're exclusively available through the Bobblehead Hall of Fame and Museum. If you go there, you can pick them up, or you can pick them up online. Individually, they're $20, which I feel for what you're getting, $20 is a terrific price. But if you decide to get all three of them, and honestly, I would prefer to have all three of them. It just displays that much better. If you buy the 3-pack that comes with all three of these guys, it's actually $5 cheaper at only $55, which is an even better value. Bobbleheads are hugely popular amongst collectors, and I really am happy to see that there's a Hall of Fame and museum. I mean, much like toys in general, these really can be considered pieces of art. Well, yes, they're toys or collectibles or whatever, but there's a lot of effort that goes into these. And I'm happy to see that there's something that really is going to showcase them as those pieces of art. So if you guys are in the Wisconsin or Milwaukee area, I would recommend checking out the Hall of Fame. And then if you're there, you can pick these guys up. Or if these are pieces that you'd like to add to your collection for just, collection purposes or holiday collections, to make it easy for you guys, I'll put a link down in the video description where you'll go to the Hall of Fame and you can check out availability on these guys as well as the rest of their wide range of bobblehead pieces. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So once again, I want to thank you for tuning in, and this has been Optibotimus. Don't forget that if you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would let me know by hitting that thumbs up button. It really does go a long way towards helping me out, and I would absolutely appreciate it. Also, if you're new here, welcome. And before you go, be sure to subscribe in case you haven't already subscribed. That way you'll get instant email notifications whenever I upload a new video, and you'll never miss out on a future review of mine. Or hey, if you're already subscribed, now more than ever it's important to make sure that you're getting those email notifications. We all know just how unreliable that YouTube subscription box is, and the best way to make sure that you don't miss any future reviews of mine is to click on that little bell right below this video and double check your settings to make sure that they're set so that you get those email notifications. And until next time, this is Optibotimus saying Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.